How's YouTube? 6fthax here. Happy for you guys today, finally, after like a week, a Wi-Fi battle. How's it going, everybody? Hopefully all of y'all have been good. I am back for sure, although I'm gonna be leaving next week for a couple days, but I should have uploads for those days that I'm gone. But yeah, guys, if y'all do enjoy the video, make sure to hammer arm that like button down below. Let me know if y'all still like the question of the day or not. I think I'm gonna take a little break from the question of the day and just kind of hear from you. I don't know, just comment something. I don't know, I want to see how things go. But yeah, this is a match against my boy HarrisisAwesome. Remember the guy that we did I did a best of 7 series against, and he lucked me out. No, just playing. But yeah, this actually turned out to be a pretty awesome battle using a really fun team I got off of the forums. This first like minute or two is gonna be just really sped up because it's gonna be pretty evident that he can't break Mew. Unfortunately, Mew really can't do much back to his team. It would have been nice if I had rocks on this Mew, but I think rocks are on the Landorus. But this Mew can kind of wear things down, maybe spread some paralysis here and there, as I'm able to burn the Magir. Now he's going to do a pretty decent chunk of damage with that flash cannon. Pretty sure he's not Specs, because I haven't seen Specs Magirna much, and I don't think it's a common set, so it's probably AV, maybe Z moves. So I'm just gonna stay in here, go for the softball. I thought about switching into my Landorus, but I didn't want to do it on the off chance that maybe he had an Ice Beam, or that would just give him a free switch into his Landorus or into the Latios, which Latios shouldn't be a huge problem as long as I have Primarina to stop it from spamming Draco. Actually, speaking of Primarina can definitely put in a lot of work to Harris's team. So it turns out that he's got Taunt on this Tapu Koko, which is a little bit annoying because now it's kind of a mind game on whether or not he's going to Thunderbolt. And because I'm pretty sure he's going to predict me to switch out, I'm actually going to stay in here and Ice Beam as I get a little lucky and I get an Ice Beam, but things kind of even out later in the match either way. So getting off a huge chunk on this Tapu Koko is great because I'm pretty positive that he doesn't have the Roost, which means wearing this thing down and getting rid of it is going to be a huge plus for me because Tapu Koko is a humongous problem to this team. So I just go for the safe Ice Beam as I am going to be able to chip down the Magirna, which is really great because my Scarf Gengar could potentially sweep late game so long as I'm able to get rid of this Magirna and kind of wear his team down. So it's going to be really good for me as I don't honestly know what he's going to do here. I thought about switching into my Landorus here again and then maybe pulling a double switch or going for a straight Earthquake on the Magirna, but I thought maybe staying in was my better play just to see if he was going to be aggressive and predicting me to switch out. As he Volt switches into the Tapu Koko, Harris is going to pay me back for that crit and he's going to get the paralysis here, which is really annoying because I don't go for the Roost here. I actually go for the Ice Beam thinking that he would predict me to switch out again, fearing the Thunderbolt. So Mew at this point is kind of useless depending on how things go because I may be able to live a hit from the Magirna as long as I don't get fully paralyzed. I should still have use for Mew later in the match to maybe wall or get off chip damage on something as I switch right into my Garchomp. Very positive that he wouldn't go for the Hidden Power Ice. I'm going to pull a double switch here, thinking that he would switch into his Latios or Landorus, and Harris makes an excellent play, calls me on my double switch here, and unfortunately just annihilates my Primarina, which kind of sucks because I went against my gut there. I really wanted to go straight for the rock slide, but I was like, I'm gonna try and be a little cheeky here and pull a double switch, and Harris got me there. So unfortunately do lose my Primarina, which could have pressured his Magirna and potentially got a free KO against a potential Scarf or Specs Latios. So I'm just gonna Shadow Ball as I get off a decent little bit of damage on the Magirna here. I thought that maybe he would go straight for a Flash Cannon, but more or less he was gonna go for the Volt Switch, just wanting to keep up momentum. So I do predict him 2 Volt Switch here as I bring in my Landorus. The good thing about this is that I could try and get on my rocks here or go straight for the Earthquake, and I try to be aggressive and I go for the Earthquake. At the same time, even if he switches into his own Landorus, it's not really that bad for me because I will most likely be able to get on my Stealth Rocks, and if he is an offensive variant, as long as it doesn't Swords Dance, I may be able to 2 KO him and knock him out before he knocks me out, or he could be defensive. But because he hard switched out here, I'm thinking maybe he is just an offensive Stealth Rocking Landorus without U-turn. So I'm able to get on my Stealth Rocks as in comes a Latios. At this point, I have to choose a Death Fodder because I lost my Primarina, and of course because Mew is pretty low and paralyzed, I'm gonna have to sack it off here, which is fine because this does give me a free switch into either my Gengar or my Garchomp, and I would rather bring in my Gengar as opposed to Garchomp because he still has the Tapu Koko and he still has the Magearna, so I can't really lock myself into Stealth Rocks, and by bringing in Gengar I can probably force him to not want to go straight for the Defog. As I go for the Shadow Ball, I get a low damage roll on that Shadow Ball. I think it did 80 to like 94% around that range. So yeah, if I had got the damage roll in my favor, I would have been able to knock out Latios and keep my Gengar, which is really nice because it's a double Scarf team with Scarf Gengar and Scarf Garchomp, which I thought was pretty cool. So I'm gonna bring in my Landorus. Funny enough, even though I am down, I believe 3 to 5 right now, I can still win. Landorus is a humongous problem to Harris's last remaining Pokemon at this point. So he's gonna switch out his Garchomp, knowing that I can chew any one hit and then 2 KO him with the Hidden Power Ice. So I have no reason to not go for it because even if he switches into Magearna, I just outspeed it and knock it out with Earthquake. So Landorus pretty much just got a KO here, and plus Pinsir wouldn't be switching directly into a Landorus in the first place. So in comes a Pinsir. I thought about staying in here. I really thought about staying in here, but I didn't want to take that unnecessary damage. So I was hoping that by switching directly into my Garchomp, I would be able to live the combination of a return in Quick Attack. I think I could have maybe lived depending on damage rolls, but if not, that just goes to show you the power of Pinsir. I more or less thought that he was going to knock me out, but either way, getting off this rough skin chip damage is absolutely amazing because it's going to be easier for my Landorus to hopefully knock him out with a Hidden Power Ice. Unfortunately though, the Mega Pinsir still is a little bit high, so I'm hoping that after the -1 he's not going to be doing entirely too much damage to me with the return, and I can still maybe live a -1 outrage from Garchomp or a Hidden Power Ice from his Landorus if it comes down to it. So he actually ends up going for the Swords Dance here, and I'm gonna kind of pay him back for me getting that low damage roll on Pinsir. On Gengar, and I'm gonna crit his Pinsir, which kind of sucked because there was no way Hidden Power Ice there was gonna knock him out, but it would have been nice to have at least kept my Gengar, which could have taken a Quick Attack at full HP, I'm pretty sure. Either way though, in comes his Landorus. I am down 2 to 3, but I'm very positive he's gonna go for the Hidden Power Ice here. Like, there's no reason for him to not go for Hidden Power Ice, so this more or less gives me a free switch into my Charizard, which is a little bit risky because if he's got Stone Edge, then I can't really Dragon Dance here, and I really wanted to Dragon Dance here. I thought about Mega Evolving and Dragon Dancing or not Mega Evolving and Dragon Dancing. Ultimately though, I decided to be more aggressive and just go for the Dragon Claw because since he didn't U-turn earlier, I thought that he was maybe an offensive Landorus, so there is a chance he had the Stone Edge or just had the Continental Crush. So at least by going for the offensive move in Dragon Claw, I could have got off some necessary damage on Landorus, making the matchup a little bit better for my Landorus, which can still win me this matchup. So at this point, it's down 2 to 2, and it can really go either way, as in comes his Landorus. The Earthquake and me switching out into my own Landorus is very obvious, so I'm hoping that he just over predicts here and goes straight for the Hidden Power Ice. So I'm just going to go for the Dragon Claw. I didn't really feel the need to go for Dragon Dance because at neutral attack, Dragon Claw isn't going to be doing much more damage than what my -1 Dragon Claw is doing now, especially if he just goes for the Earthquake after Hidden Power Icing like he's going to do here. I thought about switching into my Landorus, but if he's faster than my Landorus, then Scarf Garchomp can knock out my Landorus after Hidden Power Ice damage and outspeed my Charizard because he's Scarfed and just naturally outspeeds Charizard. So I thought staying in there was probably my better play, as it's down to my Landorus against his Landorus and Garchomp, as I'm going to be able to chew 1 Hidden Power Ice from his Landorus. I'm hoping he doesn't put me in range of where Scarf Garchomp's Outrage can knock me out. If he Z-move Garchomp, then he just wins automatically, but he does turn out to be faster than me, and just it all comes down to damage rolls because I'm pretty sure I can 2 KO him with the Hidden Power Ice if he's Naive Nature, and after the rough skin damage what the hell? I might be able to knock him out. So I live the Outrage. He takes the Rocky Helmet damage. As I go for the Hidden Power Ice, he just barely lives, but funny enough, because I have the Rocky Helmet, even though he is going to knock me out, he's going to knock himself out to the Rocky Helmet damage, and it's going to be a double down. But because my Landorus went down first, Harris technically wins, but I just kind of like to see this as a tie because it kind of went back and forth throughout the whole match, and I think Hax was pretty even in the end for both of us. But yeah, either way, good game to my boy Harris. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Sorry that I kind of stuttered on my words there at the end. As you guys know, it's been about a week and a half, but I am back indefinitely. So another upload tomorrow, and check out the 2 videos on the end screen if you've not seen them. Actually, I'll leave a playlist of my Wi-Fi battles if you haven't missed any. So yeah, happy to be back, guys. Hopefully y'all are happy to see me be back. I don't know if you want to battle me, check out my Discord. So yeah, I'm just rambling. Later, everybody.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in a knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion. But when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears, or hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.